Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to lay down a foundation. These are the 5 characteristics of money, and we're going to start this debate between gold and Bitcoin, and why is Bitcoin always being compared to gold, and which one is the superior form of money. As you all know, gold has been around for thousands of years, and it has been widely known, globally accepted as the soundest, hardest money ever discovered by mankind, and because of these 5 characteristics. That's until Bitcoin came around. Now, of course, with these grading scales and the way that I grade it, the way that I judge it, everybody's going to look at it differently. This is not going to be the same for everybody, so some people might disagree, some people might agree with me, whatever. You use your own judgment, you use your own, understanding in order to, assign a grade to each one of these, and you decide what you think, which one is the better form of money. Okay, so let's get right into it, guys. The 5 characteristics of money between gold and Bitcoin. Gold is going to be in red, Bitcoin is going to be in blue. Durability is the first category. Now this means that the bar of gold has to be durable, right? It cannot be destroyed, it cannot erode, it cannot rust. So for that category, gold actually, in my opinion, gets a 5 out of 5 because it's very durable, and that's probably one of the greatest thing about owning a bar of gold is that it's real, it's heavy. You hold it in your hand, and it's almost impossible to destroy. So, earthquake, fire, everything, it can sustain a lot of natural disaster. So 5 out of 5 for gold for durability. Portability. Now, this is a very big problem for gold because gold is so big and clunky and heavy and bulky. Imagine trying to carry a couple $100,000 or even $1,000,000, of your wealth in gold and trying to flee the country, trying to cross the border, or trying to run somewhere, or just, trying to move from one state to state. It's very dangerous. That also brings the danger of being robbed, being, having your gold stolen, being extorted. There's a lot of problem comes with this category here for gold. And in another video, we're going to talk about why the lack of portability in gold created this Frankenstein monster called paper money or fiat, or that's what history has came to show us. So for portability, actually for gold, in my opinion, it only gets a 1 out of 5. Divisibility. The reason why silver was actually used in the first place was because gold lacked divisibility. Back in the days, people would have to shave off dust of gold in order to use smaller amount to pay for cheaper items in order to transact and to trade, right? Because they're not going to give you a whole bar worth of gold for a loaf of bread. So for the visibility, gold that's always been one of gold's biggest Achilles heels, and like I said, that's the reason why silver came to be in the first place, because it's like a cheaper version of gold. So you can spend your silver for smaller items, cheaper items, and then you keep your gold for the bigger transactions. Like I said, that's gonna cause problem later on, and we're gonna make another video about that. So the visibility for gold, in my opinion, is a 1 out of 5 as well. Recognizability. This is basically the ability to verify if, this gold or Bitcoin is real or not. For gold, in order to verify that it's real, it's actually very expensive and very difficult. It's not impossible, but you need heavy machinery, and you need to basically melt down that bar of gold in order to see how many percentage of pure gold it is that you have in your possession. And there has been a lot of cases, guys, a lot, and you can look this up, with people owning gold and having these bars of gold for decades. It has been passed down generation, from their grandfather down to them, and then they finally come to find out that the bar of gold was counterfeit. So what people would do is they would take a bar of copper or nickel or whatever else, and they'll wrap it with real gold. And so, without destroying or breaking down the bar of gold, these people never were able to was able to see that it was counterfeit. So for recognizability, I would give gold maybe a 3 out of 5, because in my opinion, you can verify it, but it's very difficult and very expensive to do so. Now, scarcity, which in my opinion is the most important characteristics out of the 5. Now, why do I say that? Money is not money if it can be made at will. Money is not true money if it's everywhere all at once and easy to make and can be created out of thin air. And that's one of the main reasons why gold became the people's money in the first place, right? Because it's scarce, very scarce. It's very hard to produce more gold. It takes a lot of work to mine for that piece of gold or that bar of gold. And it's expensive in order to create, unlike fiat money, which we'll get into in another video. However, the problem with the scarcity of gold is what I consider relative scarcity or objective scarcity, as in you don't know exactly how scarce it is. You don't. You think it's scarce, right? We know, the basics, like, oh, okay, we're gonna get this much, maybe 2% of new gold per year compared to the stock to flow model and whatnot. But how do you know that somebody might not come back from the bottom of the ocean and find a huge mine of gold, and that's gonna dilute the supply? Or somebody right now, guys, in space, in Mars, there's huge supplies of gold up there, and Elon Musk, we don't know if he's going to go up there and in the future and able to mine it and bring it back, and that's going to dilute the supply of gold. So the relative scarcity of gold could be a problem in the future. So I'll give that a 4 out of 5 for gold, okay? So for Bitcoin, let's get into that. Durability. Bitcoin, in my opinion, is extremely durable because it's nothing but information. It's code. It's on the blockchain. You can't destroy it. You can lose it, of course, or you can get hacked if you do something stupid and you let a hacker steal your Bitcoin. But as far as the Bitcoin itself being destroyed, I think it's very unlikely. So I give Bitcoin a 5 out of 5 as well. Portability. Now this Bitcoin beats gold in all aspects. You can send any amount of money in Bitcoin to a different country. I could send it to Tokyo and it'll get there in 5 minutes. All it takes is, one click of the button and one sign of my private key, and I can send my Bitcoin anywhere. I can also memorize a 24 C words passphrase. That's my entire generational wealth, or my whole life savings. I can keep that on the blockchain in Bitcoin, and I don't even need the hardware wallet. I can just memorize that in my brain, and I can move across border. I can go anywhere. No one would even know I have this money, let alone trying to rob me or steal from me or seize that money or confiscate it from me. So when it comes to portability, Bitcoin, no doubt about it, destroy gold. Okay, so 5 out of 5 for Bitcoin. Divisibility. Now this, once again, Bitcoin without a doubt destroy gold, because one Bitcoin right now is worth about $28,000, but it can be broken down into 100 million satoshis. That's smaller pieces of Bitcoin that you can acquire. So yeah, no doubt about it, Bitcoin is very divisible, and we can actually even break it down into further denomination and units if we need to. That doesn't change the total supply of Bitcoin. It just breaks it down even more. So 100 million pieces, pretty divisible, okay? Recognizability, guys, it's impossible to counterfeit a Bitcoin, because the blockchain protocol, and you can download this free software, the Bitcoin Core software, and you can verify yourself to make sure that your Bitcoin is valid, your Bitcoin is authentic, and it's almost impossible, guys. So I give this a 5 as well, and trust me, I'm not being biased because I own Bitcoin, but you guys judge for yourself. Like I said, this is very objective. Everybody's going to have a different grade. But to me, yeah, recognizability, Bitcoin is 5. Scarcity. Bitcoin has what is called absolute scarcity or verifiable scarcity, as in we know there will never be more than 21 million Bitcoin in existence ever. And that's a fact. And people say, well, what if, somebody decided to change the code and give it like 22 million? No, because in order for them to change the code and want to change the supply of Bitcoin, they would have to get the permission of every single Bitcoin users across the planet. Everybody, even if you own just 0.0001 of a Bitcoin and you run a full node, you have a say, you have a vote in that, and nobody in their right mind would allow them to change the supply, because that's going to make their Bitcoin worth less. So that's the game theory behind Bitcoin, and that's why everybody is it benefits from having Bitcoin staying scarce, and absolutely scarce. And that's the beauty behind this, guys. And we're going to stop the video right there under 10 minutes because I just want to make a short video and lay a foundation for you. So as you can see, according to these metrics, according to my subjective view, I think Bitcoin is a better form of money.